Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm coming at you guys with an update for my Zephyrus deck. Now, Zephyrus, this is pretty pure. It's dedicated a lot of the Zephyr cards into the main deck. Different from the build that you've seen on my channel as of lately, which is a combo-heavy build, which does play Zephyr cards. It plays, I'd say, 3, 6, 10, about 11 Zephyr cards, but this deck is more focused on the Zephyrus. And the combos that you're going to be performing are going to be utilizing a lot of the Zephyr cards. You're able to make some really strong turn 1 boards with follow-up plays to back up, just so you can have that security of, oh, your opponent breaks your board, you know, they don't OTK you, you could still play. Unlike, you know, the mainstream Pendulum deck with like Souls and Red Stage, you know, just spamming as many slings as possible and just emptying out your, practically sometimes your entire hand and dang near your whole deck, leaving you with very little follow-ups because you really don't have cards left in your deck, you know, to actually make plays. This deck can do things that are, I feel, are even stronger than that, just because they can play around Dark Roller no more. You could play around Spear Mode, you could play around Super Poly, you could still lock your opponent out of the game completely, and you don't really have to worry about losing to some of the heavy side cards that people will use against you. So for me, it's like that can raise your ceiling if you think about it in retrospect, when the cards that your opponent would traditionally side deck against you would not work against your boards. And like I said, you can summon Calamities in this deck. You can actually utilize Needle Fiber combos. You can play main deck bricks, like cards that are not actually Pendulum monsters, which in Pendulum decks are typically a brick, because the Zephyrus are able to combo off with 2 to 3 cards, which is really strong. That's the family in the background. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this deck profile, you guys. I got a lot of respect for Zephyrus. It's the second favorite deck. In my top 5, it's number 2. So we're playing 3 copies of my Anger Translator, Zephyrus. Zephyrus is a really powerful card. It's going to be able to fix your hands no matter what to make sure you're able to play. The main thing that you want to utilize him for is actually to make him a high scale, bless you, so that you can get access to your Zephyr Niu if you need it, and if not, your Zephyr Windy. You know, just get access to your main engine. Once you get Zephyr Niu online and start spamming him multiple turns, you know, just pin summoning him every turn, as long as you're doing that, that's one thing that you'll be doing right playing Zephyrus. Always make sure that when you Pendulum summon, that Zephyr Niu is coming out. Zephyr Niu is going to replace itself on summon. He's going to generate a lot of advantage, really. When you consider it, one Zephyr Niu can get you so far. Even if you go for 9 pillars pop him, search of Providence. Providence turns to a follow-up plays. There's just so much that you can do with this deck. And just leaving it on field, making your opponent have to kill him twice with Providence, just so you could search another card anyway, is just a really strong card. So you're always going to want to make sure you Pendulum summon out Zephyr Niu, because he's going to allow you to access the remainder of your engine. And if you saw every card like Providence and Oracle, you could search a Counter Trap or, you know, a Zephyr War, depending on what you feel is going to be most impactful for you. But these 6 cards right here are really important. Next up, I'm playing 2 copies of Zephyrus, the Treasure of the Yangzing. This is what's going to allow you to make your synchro plays, so that you could summon that Crocodon, or however you pronounce that level 9 water synchro, so that you can summon out, you know, your Meteor Burst to target your Gate 0 to go into your Absolute Vortex play, so that if you're playing Charge Warrior, you could stack a hand trap and draw it, you know, so that you can make your Needle Fiber. You can do so many combos with Zephyrus. He's really strong. We're playing 1 copy of Zephyr Saitan. Oh yeah, also if you have Chao Feng, which I got rid of it when I got rid of my Yangzing deck to my brother. He has my Chao Feng and my Yangzings. But if you're playing Chao Feng, this card also allows you to make Chao Feng with Zephyr Niu, which can lock out Adamanticipators. If all the monsters in their deck are Earth, they won't be able to activate their effects. So it's a very one-sided battle at that point. And as long as you have your counter traps, they can't Dark Roller no more you, which is really powerful. But anyways, continuing, we're playing Zephyr Saitan, Zephyr Thubin. Zephyr Windy for the grind game is really strong. This deck does have a good grind game. This is a Pendulum deck that has a good grind game. And we have replacement Electromites. We have Zephyrus and Zephyr Windy, which are going to allow you to access the Zephyr cards you need, the Zephyr monsters you need, send them from your extra deck to your from your deck to your extra deck, and then add them to your hand off of Windy, which is basically everything Electromite does minus the drawing. So Zephyrus have a lot of utility. They're able to do what they need to do consistently, which is really strong, instead of relying on RNG factors trying to just draw. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's still a successful way to play Pendulums. Trust me, there's a lot of ways you can play Pendulums, but Zephyrus are a different breed. They're a different deck. And continuing, we're playing 1 copy of Zephyr Pilica. Level 3s do matter depending on what combos that you're going to be playing. This card actually has a really cool utility. It allows you to generate advantage when you're playing through multiple interruptions, when you lose tempo to like a strike or anything of that nature, even when you XYZ with your Zephyrus, just bringing them back so that you can get them from your field back to your face of extra deck to be able to pin some of them out again, just over and over. So good recursion off of Pilica and off of Windy. These cards are kind of like tempo swings if you think of it. They can get you back into the game. We're playing also one copy of ZEFRA Core. It's part of the Spice. Now, it's not necessarily Spice that I myself thought of. I will always give credit to somebody if it's their idea, but that's also why I'm so big on when people use my ideas that they always make sure don't take credit for my ideas, you know, because that's kind of not fair. But the Spice that I'm going to be showing you guys in the main deck is not my idea. It was brought to my attention by somebody who actually messaged me, and it's a great idea. I was like, dang, you know, honestly, like, humble myself, I didn't think of that. I really didn't think of that play. But this is part of the Spice. It's an additional target to make sure that you can always just be able to plus off of the play that I'm going to get to when we get there. We're playing one copy of Zephyrus. Again, added layers of utility. The card has synergy with your Shrine, your Foolish, your Ravine. Also just allowing you to get tempo swings when you utilize your Thubin and your Saitan effects to bring this guy back out as an aggressive card. And in addition to that, you can use him to actually make level 8 synchros using your Zephyrus targeting him. He's a 7, so you could sit him off Zephyrus with ease. So if you open Zephyrus plus just like an Oracle or a Providence, you can easily just pin summon out this and that, and you can make a level 8 synchro, which just really, really helps you. So there's just so much value and utility that you get out of this card. It's really, really strong. It's a really, really good discard fodder because it's going to get itself back onto the field. Zephyrus is definitely a really good card for his level, for his effect, and also, you know, when Electromite was legal, this card was just nice, you guys. And then we're also playing, continuing with the deck. So that's all for the ZEFRA monsters. There's quite a bit. Like I said, it's pretty much pure Zephyrus with some compact engines to raise my ceiling, so I could play around Nibiru, so I can play around hand traps, so I can still be able to go aggressive going second. Because with Zephyrus, they are just like a very, very good, like, jack of all trades kind of Pendulum deck. Not every single trade, but if you're getting my gist, they just have so much utility. They do so many different things. Each ZEFRA monster has their own unique effect. For example, ZEFRA Core actually is strong. If you send it to the grave off of your Shrine or your Ravine play, you can actually, or just pin summon it, it can target one of your Zephyrus in scale and special summon that. That's an extension play right there. If you have a level 4 in scale, you pin summon this out, this is going to be a 1-card rank 4 for you to make Dweller. You know, so there's just so much utility in the ZEFRA monsters. They have so many good effects that can be beneficial in different scenarios. But still, they're not going to allow you to play around Nibiru. They're not going to give you access to cards that can necessarily bait hand traps. You know, you're just going to have to play cards like Gamma, which I'm not very fond of particularly. I still like playing a little bit of a balance. So I guess you could call it mid-range. It's not heavy combo to the point where we're trying to spam our whole hand, but I still want to be able to combo off and have cards to bait interruptions. Mythical Beast, Master Cerberus, and 2 Jackal Kings to start off with these next engines. Master Cerberus can easily bait an Ash Blossom. If you're scared of running into Adamant Spaders or people locking you out of your extra deck, I recommend you put in a Mythical Beast Garuda so that your Mythical Beast Master Cerberus actually has utility in that matchup for you to just target the Destruction Sword, and they're going to have to negate it, otherwise it'll get popped, and then you can get access to your extra deck again. And since they only have 2 cards to stop your scale, it could easily be an uphill battle from there. So it's just a really, really strong card. Some people are writing it off. Some people are saying Master Cerberus is bad. The card's strong, even if you're not playing Zephyrus. It's a really, really strong card because it's always going to require the attention of an interruption, a hand trap, a negation. Because by himself, he is a really, really powerful card. He can banish monsters. He has protection. He obviously searches your Jackal King or your Garuda, things of that nature. Garuda to pop your back rows. Again, to target that Destruction Sword to get out of the extra deck lock. So if anyone ever tells you Master Cerberus is dead because you can't summon from your extra deck with it, then they're probably not playing Garuda. So you can make it an even stronger card based on the cards that you put into your main deck. So I really enjoy this engine. Just being able to have a Jackal King so that when you pin summon, you're not losing to Nibiru is just really, really strong. In other ways, you can obviously just easily with Zephyrus, you can actually go pin summon 2, synchro, you know, special, and at that point, you can actually just make your plays there. So sometimes you don't have to spam that heavy to get to the plays you're trying to get to, but a lot of the times you need something to play around Nibiru. But continuing with the compact Endymion engine, 1 Magister, 1 Servant, 1 Mighty Master, and 1 Reflection. These cards, just again, these help you to play around interruptions, play through hand traps. Mastery normally gets ashed because what are the odds of you opening the 1-of Servant? So just having Mastery and Cerberus is like, those cards getting ashed can really be helpful for you if you're still trying to get to your Calamities combo, if you're still trying to do your Needle Fiber combo. If you want your Zephyr plays to matter more, you use these cards to bait the hand traps. And if they don't have hand traps and you're going second, You use these cards to either bait the negations or play through them or play around them, just easily giving you great tempo swings, especially Magister, such a slept on card, really, really strong. Continuing with these engines, we're playing 2 copies of Darkworm and 1 Gate Zero. This engine is really, really strong in Zephyrus, giving you that consistent access to a Gate 0, which is a 0 scale, and a level 7 for your Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Vortex combos. So Darkworm and Dragon Shrine just give you those +1 plays. And also, it has great synergy with Zephyrus. Shrine and Providence is a 2-card combo that gets you 2 scales and 2 bodies on field so that you can make plays after that and you get a negation and you can make your generic link, whatever you want to do. So it's a really, really strong combo. Just considering the fact that you're getting a complete setup off of 2 cards. The rest of the cards in your hand are what you're going to normally pin summon out to finish your combo, but just opening Shrine and Providence give you a high scale and a low scale, and like I said, 2 bodies on field, which is really, really strong when you consider that. That's like a +4. Because you get 2, you get a card back in your hand, you get a field spell there. So when you think about it, you're circulating, you get 5 cards onto field and a card in hand. So really 2 cards got converted to 6 cards because of 5 in field and 1 in hand. So that's a +4. It's really, really strong. Now, this is the spice I was talking about. It's not my spice. I'll always give credit where credit's due. My homeboy Ben Gregson actually told me about this. It's either him or another dude. People have been talking to me about this deck, and I'm glad that other people really do enjoy Zephyrus. Like, I love this deck. Like, it's crazy good. It's a really, really admirable Pendulum deck that requires, you know, a good pilot. It is a big brain deck. It really is. So this is the spice that I got shown. And it's really, really strong. So we're playing 3 Magdalenes and 1 Predecessor. I have a couple proxies in here. The Predecessor turns the Magdalene into a 1-card rank 4. That could be your Dweller. You could get Gallant Grand Knight. You know, Gallant Grand Knight is going to search your Zephyrus because it's a rock, and also your Zephyr Core. So if you open Zephyrus, you search your Zephyr Core because that's an extender. Excuse me. And it's just going to really help you out with your the rest of your turn. So Magdalene just gives you 3 extra copies, basically, of your Zephyrus, which is just really, really strong. Because Zephyrus is, like I said, it's super imperative for this deck. If you don't have a Zephyrus in hand, it doesn't feel right. So continuing, 1 Kaku. This is a Gizmek that I do not have. It's the fire attribute Kaku. You can basically special him if there's a monster in the extra monster zone. He's like a baby restrict too, so he's pretty strong. But I don't have him, so like I said, I have a couple proxies. Back in the day, how we were summoning calamities, we were basically using Odd Eye Synchron in tandem with the Zephyrus and the Zephyr Neo to summon our level 9. We would go Gothams, rip a card out the hand, use basically the Odd Eye Synchron, target our Gate 0, special it, make a level 9 Cloud Castle, bring back the Gothams, and make our True King of all Calamities. But with Electromite being banned, that combo is not consistent enough. So this is another combo that gets you to Calamities very consistently. Basically, as long as you have access to a Oracle or a Providence and can pin summon out Zephyr Neo and Zephyrus, you have that combo. Because you're just going to synchro to the new level 9 that came out not too long ago. Uses effect, you're going to Chain Link 1 him, basically go Chain Link 1 him, Chain Link 2 Oracle, and it resolves backwards, so then Oracle is going to stack, and then he's going to resolve to draw the card you stack. That's going to be a Kaku. Special it out, there's your Calamities. And I'm playing O-Line and Jet Synchron for the Neo Fiber combo so that I can get multiple Omni Negates. So the thing with this deck, again, like, you can put up crazy boards, but your extra deck has so many backup plays. If you commit to Calamities, that means you reserve the Needle Fiber combo for later. If you commit to Needle Fiber, you reserve the Calamities for later. You also can just go into your Meteor Burst combo. So Zephyrus has multiple plays in your extra deck, where you can even go into the Gate 0 play, where you basically use Zephyrus on a level 4, synchro to Meteor Burst target Gate 0, bring it out. That's your absolute Vortex. So you're always going to be able to have backup follow-up plays and backup boss monsters. So if they break your board off Calamities, you can reestablish with the Needle Fiber. Needle Fiber isn't working. You know, that's the grind right there. Then you're going to follow up with your Odd Eyes Vortex. That's kind of like what you're going to do. And even then, you could still make your, your level 8 with Zephyrus. And basically the Zephyrus and the Zephyrus. So this deck has a lot of backup plays. Instead of just spamming out all your Selenes and putting all your Endymions and just activating Pot of Desires, burning out all your stuff, you can make a really strong board that's going to lock your opponent out the game, but still have multiple boss monsters still left. So you're basically still going to have ammunition left in that gun just in case you need it, which is something that's really, really strong for a Pendulum deck, to have multiple backup plays no matter what. So it's like you're always going to have, not always, but you're going to have multiple tricks up your sleeve. Continue with the spells. We play 3 copies of Providence, 3 copies of Oracle of the Zephra. These cards are insane. They're going to capitalize so much value just off of resolving these, especially Providence. Providence gets you Oracle, Oracle gets you Zephyrus, Zephyrus gets you Zephyrus. Zephyrus replaces itself. You got 1, 2, 3 cards on field, 1 card in hand off of a Providence. That to me is like a +3 or +4. This card's just crazy. Like, you plus a lot with Zephyrus, you really do. Continuing, this is like a power card, spell power mastery. You don't really, it's not imperative. You don't live or die by this resolving because this is not an Endymion-eccentric deck. It's nice to have, like, opening this, plus, you know, Providence is a really, really good 2-card combo. But ultimately, it's not the end of the world if it gets ashed, which is something that's really strong with this deck. 2 copies of Shrine and 1 Foolish. There's so much utility with these cards. It's nice, especially Foolish being able to dump the Zephyr Core on command just so you can get an extended play. Special out your scale, link into a generic link 2, pin summon multiple from your extra deck. We have 1 Ravine, which just allows you to play the rotation. Ravine has multiple targets, which again gives it more utility. And discard for cost ain't that bad because you don't need your entire hand to combo off with Zephyrus. You need normally 2 or 3 cards. If you want a bigger combo, it requires more cards, but that's what's nice, and that's how you're able to discard off of your Jet Synchron, because you don't need your whole hand. And then that's going to be it for the spells. And you don't need to play a bunch of cards either that put spell counters for your Endymion cards. Already, Zephra cards just get you multiple spell counters on their own, and you're not living or dying by resolving those cards. It just gives you added value, utility, searchable scales, and cards that bait interruptions. For our traps, we went pretty heavy on them. I like these. This is also part of your grind. So again, you have backup boss monsters in your extra deck, whereas Zephraxi has like 3 big plays. The Vortex play, you know, the Calamities play, the Needle Fibers play. And on top of that, Zephyrus is always going to be able to get you trapped. So when your grind game, your turn 1 board, your turn 2 board and your turn 3 board can even be stronger than your turn 1 board, depending on which play you decided to pick. If you went, oh, I want the Needle Fiber route, so you can do that after your Calamities, and your board can be stronger than it was in the first place, especially considering you can get access to multiple of these in the duration of a grind game. So this is a Pendulum deck that actually can grind and has a great grind game because it's not like, oh, my board's going to be mediocre and you're not trying to push for OTK. It's not like, oh, my board got broken. The next thing I can do is just commit to Borosword. That gets stopped. Dang, I don't have anything else. You don't really run out of steam fast with this deck. So having multiple of the traps is really strong. It's nice drawing them because you have valid targets that you consistently get. You play a lot of Zephra monsters, a lot of Zephra cards. The Yang Zings are easy to access in this deck. So these cards are live very often. For the side deck, I play 3 Evenlies, 3 Dark Rulers. Let me check that. Okay, 3 Lava Golems, 3 Denkos, 1 Pankratops, 1 Garuda, just giving you that added utility, and then 1 Zephyr Path. Now, Zephyr Path actually was in one of my lists in the past, and it's becoming a very, very one-sided floodgate. In this format, a lot of people just can't really play around Path when you have multiple negations on your board. In the past, when Trickstar Sky Strikers was like a thing, you know, I wouldn't say Path was just like a game-ending card, because Trickstar's Sky Strikers, which that was the format that I was playing Path in. I've been playing Zephyrus for a long time. Basically, like, it wasn't like they needed their extra deck, but now you're in a point where people are using Needle Fiber so much, they're relying so much on their extra deck that this card just is a one-sided floodgate. It just locks them out almost completely. So I'll go ahead and read you Path. It's extremely accessible in this deck, and it's really easy to get it. Now, obviously, it requires a sacrifice for you to utilize it, but when you're doing that, it's like, dang, it doesn't even matter because you're just going to win the game anyways. So you activate it only if you have 2 Zephra cards in your Pendulum zones, while with active scales of 1 and 7. If this card's activated, you shuffle all monsters into the deck. So you probably want to activate it not in a scenario where you just have a full field, because you're just going to kind of neg. But basically, when you activate it, you shuffle all monsters you control in the deck except Zephra monsters. Neither player can special summon monsters from the hand or the extra deck while you have cards in your Pendulum zone. And this card can't be targeted by card effects. And Providence protects it from destruction. So it's like, dang, your scales are protected, this already protects itself, and then Providence protects this. It's a really strong lock. It's like spear mode, okay? You, like, dude, it says right here, you just need to have your scales, basically. So basically, like I said, neither player can special summon monsters except from the hand or the extra deck while you have 8 cards in your Pendulum zone. So they could Dark Ruler no more, they could spear mode, they could super poly, they could kaiju you, they can do everything, but they still can't summon from their extra deck. So again, remember how I was saying the conventional side deck cards that you would use against normal Pendulums just don't work. This is why Zephyrs are supreme. They have that utility. They have a backbone that Pendulum decks just don't typically have. So going to the extra deck, and I'll show you guys some combos after. IP Masquerena, Needle Fiber, Aradon. That's the combo we're going with, the Needle Fiber Aradon combo. So we can get Borreload Savage and Arclight, even though I'm proxying Savage with an Omega. One Zephyr Metaltron, one Appaloosa, and one Borosword. You could cut one of those for a Cross Sheep if you want. This is the new level 9 Water Synchro. I don't have it, so I'm basically, this is my proxy for it. I don't have all the cards I need. Charge Warrior is not really Charge Warrior, he's just a level 9. Now, if you use more, you know, different kinds of like amounts of Synchro materials, you could potentially draw more cards. But basically, you're just using that level 9 to draw 1 so that you can get your Kaku play. Because Oracle of Zephyr searches any monster, which is broken, man. Back in the day, I was telling you guys, I've been telling people in Zephyr profiles, like, bro, this Field Spell searches any monster in the game. Like, look at all my Zephyr profiles, all my topping Zephyr profiles, you know. Like, just look at them and listen to that insight, how much I kept talking about how strong Zephyrs are. And then we have, this should be a Savage, so Omega should be a Savage. We have a Meteor Burst, Arclight, True King of all Chlamydia, and then we have Absolute Dragon. Abyss Dweller is... Again, when you have that play and you have a level 4 Zephyr in scale and you just can easily pin summon out your Zephyr Core, just get that level 4 out. That's your Dweller right there off that one Zephyr Core because Core is kind of strong. And the rest of the cards that you use is just whatever for the rest of the combo. But Dweller is very one-sided in certain matchups. Gallant Granite for the Madolche play so that you can search out your Anger Translator or the Core. Core and Zephyrus respectively are really strong cards. And then we have the one on Ice Vortex Dragon. Again, so like I was saying, the Zephyrus can go into the Needle Fiber play, or you can go into the Calamities play, or you can use Zephyrus on a level 4 to make a level 7. You're going to summon Meteor Burst, target your gate 0 in scale, specially overlay those to Absolute, and obviously you just link off your Absolute into the Vortex, and you have that Omni negate. So again, backup plays. You can't do all those in one turn because the Fraxi can only be used by one turn, but you don't need to. You're not doing it conventionally like other Pendulum decks. You're not spamming like 10, you know, however you want to say, like 7 different, you know, negates. You're just putting out enough to get you game. And all you need is to stop your opponent for a turn. So Calamities is the perfect example. You know, multiple Omni negates, like I'll show you the combo, is typically enough. But let's go ahead and get into the 3-carded combo right here. And you can do it. You can spam typical, you know, traditional Pendulum boards if you want. So here's the combo. So if you open Mageline, or if you open Zephyrus, or if you open Zephyrus, or if you open Oracle of Zephra, you can still get to the combo. So there's multiple ways that you can get to this. These are all the cards that can be drawn in combination with each other. Mastery is the only one that's not really interchangeable unless you hard draw the Servant. So you can say this combo is consistent because you have multiple ways. Like, these are all of your ways to access Zephyrus, and that's 3, 6, 9, 12 cards that access Zephyrus. So anything that accesses Zephyrus is 1 plus the Mastery, and then after that, you know, you just need these. So let's say, for example, just to be flashy, you know, you have the Mageline, you have the Providence, and you have the Mastery. You would be able to basically do this. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and normal summon the Mageline, use her effect, and you're going to search out your proxy predecessor. And you have no monsters in your grave, special summon it. Bless you, babe. And then you're going to overlay these two into your Gallant Granite, detach. This is just a flashy way to get to it. And then you're going to get your Zephyrus. So I don't know why the Servant's there. Then you're going to get your Zephyrus. And then you activate the Mastery, right? And you're going to go ahead and search out your Servant. Some of my cards are getting upside down. So we're going to grab the Servant. This is a 3-card combo. So it's really nice when your Pendulum deck has 3-card combos and 2-card combos, instead of a 5-card combo, which is your whole hand drawing through your whole deck and just spamming, you know, a board that just still dies to a Spear Mode or dies to a Dark Ruler no more plus a strong enough follow-up, you know, or Dark Ruler evenly, you know, or just Kaiju, Dark Ruler, you know, it just, there's combinations of cards. Like, it's just like your boards, even if your boards can get killed, which is really hard because Providence is a strong card. It's really, really powerful. Plays around so much. Even if your board's died, it's really, really hard to get OTK'd. Especially under Calamities, it's just not possible. So you're going to search for your Servant, activate your Servant. Then you're going to go ahead and activate your Zephyr Providence. Search for your Oracle. She's getting a counter. Then you're going to activate Oracle. You're going to search for Zephyrus specifically. And she gets a 2nd spell counter. And then you're going to go ahead and activate Zephyrus and Scale. She gets her 3rd counter. For this combo, just to show you guys this sequence, I'm just going to reserve on resolving her yet. So I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to go ahead and activate Zephyrus Scale. I'm going to send Zephyr New from the deck to the face-up extra. and then pin summon 2 from hand. Chain link 1, chain link 2, make that a tuner. Search out my Divine Strike, and then what you'll go ahead and do here is you will go ahead and go into your Needle Fiber. If you want to play around Nibiru, you probably would just have to not commit to the Madote play so that you can just... So basically, like I said, you don't have to open Magic Link. I just did that to be flashy. But if you just open Zephyrus, you can just do that. So, but when you go into the Needle Fiber, then that just leaves that zone where you'll have 2 open zones instead of 1. So when you do the Auradon and you have 3 tokens out, you still have zones, 2 more zones left, so you can resolve Servant before you do the Needle Fiber combo, which protects you. But for this one, just to be flashy, I'm not doing that. So, but I'm telling you, you can't actually play around the hand traps or the Nibiru there. But basically, we're making Needle Fiber. We're using his effect. And we're going to go ahead and summon out our Jet Synchron. I'm just going to grab Jet and O-Line. So we're going to special out Jet Synchron. We're going to go ahead and link these 2 into Auradon. And even if you don't, if you want to be greedy and play around Nibiru, your opponent will Nibiru you. You'll still have a Servant that hasn't resolved and a counter trap. So that's not playing around Nibiru. At that point, that's playing through Nibiru, which is really cool. So 3 tokens. So you can play around Nibiru or through Nibiru. It's up to you. 3 tokens. Tribute him one of the tokens. Summon O-Line. You're basically going to do your standard play. You know, you're going to synchro into your Savage. This is my proxy Savage. Get the Auradon. And then pitch a card, summon the Jet, banish the Jet, synchro into your generic, summon your Arclight. So you already have 3 Omni negates, Omni. And what I would do at this point, since I have so many Omni negates, if I'm playing it in this sequence, I would go for Endymion off the Servant, a counter on each of them. So I have a follow-up in the sense that when I use Endymion, I get Servant back to my hand. And look what happens next turn. I have complete scales. I can resolve Servant again because I can pin summon, send a Zephyrus, pin summon the Zephyrus, search a Providence. Providence can get Oracle. Oracle, just that's 2 counters already. At that point, all I need is just 1 more spell, resolve Servant a second time, easily get an aggressive tempo swing. But this board right here already is so powerful. I don't really know how this can be super polyed, but you basically have 4 negates off of 3 cards, and you have complete scales, because this is going to get bounced back to your hand. You have a field spell. If you count the cards you get off of this, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Off of 3, that's like a +5, not considering the follow-up plays that you can do. So that's 1 combo. Let me check the timer. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into another combo. I'm going to try to rush through this one. No more flashy Needle Fiber combos, and no more flashy Madoche plays, because that's just going to take up too much time. So for this combo, basically, it's just going to be like a Zephyr combo. So if you open... This is something that's really, really cool. So if you open Zephyrus and Oracle, you can basically, and all you need is just any scale. So you really do just need any scale that's a low. So this could be a 3-card combo where you just go Dragon Shrine, summon Dark Worm, because, you know, Gate 0 is like a really, really strong scale. Search your Gate 0. But really, it feels like a 2-card combo because you just need any low scale. It doesn't matter what low scale. And you have like 3 Mastery, you know, the 3 Servants, the Shrines, the Foolish, the Ravines. So you're going to go ahead and activate the Oracle. You already searched this off Dark Worm. Activate the Oracle. You're going to search for Zephraxi. And then you're going to use Zephyrus. And you're going to use him to send the Zephyrus. Then you're going to pin some... Well, scale this. Obviously, I'm trying to rush through it so I can get to the next combo. Pin some of these. Make this a tuner. The next thing that you're going to do is Synchro into the new level 9. I can't pronounce his name right now. I have to look his name up. It's kind of overdone though. But basically, Chainlink 1, Chainlink, so Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 2 to stack the Kaku, the Gizmek Fire, onto your deck, Chainlink 1 to draw it. Make sure that's in the extra monster zone. Special it, 2 level 9s, overlay into True King of all Chlamydia. And don't forget to resolve your Zephyrus. Of course, I said Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, I'm just rushing. So you get your Calamities, you get your Divine Strike. It's just a really, really strong combo. You could obviously put him down in the lower monster zone, so you could just play around, you know, like Cyber Dragons and stuff of that nature. And basically, whatever was left in your hand, you could still combo off, so you could use this and something else, you know, make some links. It's totally up to you. But that's another really, really strong combo that just gets you game. Calamity is backed up with the counter trap to make sure that his effect resolves. Is like game. And if you look at that board, can it be spear moded? No, there's only 2 monsters. Can it be super polyed? Sure, but he's still going to be lingering effect. Can you Dark Ruler no more? His effect's going to linger. You can Lava Golem, but his effect's going to linger. And no matter or not whether you super, because I'm going to let the Super Poly resolve probably. Like, I mean, I can't stop it. Well, I'm saying I'm going to let the Dark Ruler no more resolve probably. If it's just him and Dark Worm, because there's no point in negate it. He's already resolved. And if they like Lava Golem, I still have the counter trap. So no matter what they do to the lingering effect of Calamities, I will have the counter trap. So it's a really, really strong combo. And it gets you game. So for another combo, I'm just going to show you guys, because I mentioned, you know, how you can basically get Vortex. Okay, I gotta rush through this. So basically, Dragon Shrine and an Oracle. Basically, you just need to use Zephyrus to target a level 4. So this is something like, it just has to be something in your hand that gets you there. So you would just go Shrine for Dark Worm, grab your Gate 0, and basically, you know, you don't even have to have Oracle. I just want Zephyrus. So you really want to pin summon Zephyrus no matter what. But if you just want to do this play just as is, just off a 3-card combo, you could use Zephyrus. But again, you know, you really do want to get Zephyrus to get that counter trap and get that grind game. You'll just basically send a level 4 Zephyrus Saiton, because he's a scale 7. Pin summon him out, pin this out, make this a tuner. Oh yeah, and make sure that Oracle is there. That's how the combo works. That's why I grabbed Oracle. So make sure that this is there so that you can just it's crazy because you're gonna be able to stack, and then you can have a guaranteed top deck for next turn. So basically, you're gonna make this a tuner. That's level 7. So Synchro, that goes to the bottom of your deck into your Meteor Burst. You can use Oracle to stack your Servant of Endymion. You can even stack your Kaku for extended plays. Just really, really strong. It's just get your top deck. Target this, special it, overlay these two into Absolute. And if you have an extra deck slot and you want to play the Destruction Sword, you can link these into a Union Carrier and lock your opponent out the extra deck instead of just going into the IP Masquerena. And then you'll go ahead and summon out your Vortex. So those are the 3 plays that you do off of Zephyrus to back up and reinforce what I said in the deck profile, that Zephyrus has all these combos. So you do these through the progression of a duel, depending on which one is really I guess the chronological order matters, like which one to do first. But these are all really, really strong combos, which makes Zephyrus a really strong card in this deck. You guys should definitely consider playing Zephyrus because it's a really, really powerful Pendulum deck. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to say a quick little prayer and then I'm going to get out of here. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. Lord, please give us this day our daily bread, and please forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. All right, you guys, deuces is wild, yo.